Right, so here we are back again. A little bit of a delay actually. I was busy all day yesterday and didn't get a chance to get past the office to continue on my little experiment I'd done on Friday. So we're now on Tuesday morning, so it's had 4 days to dry itself out and see what kind of state we're in. Over the period of time, there's been no heating on, I should say actually. There's been no heating on over the weekend or yesterday. No one was in the office yesterday. So it generally sits around about 12-13 degrees in here. Obviously there's not a great deal of airflow or ventilation through here, all the windows and things are shut. So it's just been sat at probably around about 12-13 degrees over the last few days. So you can see here, this one, well, they both sort of stood upright. They haven't fallen to bits or anything. They still look quite structurally sound as they were before, with sort of submerged in water. I can see that the hemp does have quite some staining on there. I can only assume it's obviously the chemicals that's in the product when they manufacture it. It's maybe mixed with the water and kind of give it that stained look. So my plan is, I've got the moisture meter on. I will pick each one up and see if there's any water comes out from them as I pick them up. Take a reading of each one and kind of see where they're sitting at. Both initially were reading around about the 12% mark. So it'll be interesting to see how close they are to that 12% mark now after having that time to dry out. So let's pick the first one up. I've actually got more. I think Sisalwool's going to win this one because I've used the product for the last sort of 12 months and I know how sort of good it can be. So let's pick up and see. So no water dripping out, at least anyway. Let's put the moisture meter into this and see what it's saying. 21%. So it's come right down. Not quite the 12%. It does feel a bit wet at the bottom though. The top is nice and dry. It's also working its way out. The bottom is wet. I would say if I squeeze this, there'll be water that will come out of this. There we go. A little bit. I like good squeeze. Just a little bit at the bottom. It's just that last little bit at the bottom that's still drying out. But the rest of it, it's pretty dry to touch. See, I think given it another couple of days, it would have dried out completely at the bottom, probably. The rest of it's dried out pretty well. Just dry it off. Right, so for the hemp now, nothing pouring out immediately, but it does look, again, wet at the bottom also. Bottom section here, the top, dry to touch. Let's just check it roughly in the middle. So yeah, really quite high. Yeah, so I think we can say that's holding quite a lot of moisture in there. I mean, it's not changed its shape in any way. It's not, came apart, but definitely if I squeeze this, I can feel there's water going to come out. I can feel it. You can actually feel the weight. Yeah. Okay, yeah, there's quite a lot in there. So I mean, as for drying out, it's not dried out that great. It's stayed intact. It's not came apart. But I would say it's almost night and day. It's not really dried out much at all. Just the surface has dried out a little bit, but it's still held that moisture in there quite a lot. Yeah, it's quite interesting. So I think it's safe to say that the sheep's wool certainly dries out a lot faster and it doesn't retain that moisture anywhere near the same as the hemp does. Yeah. Not much else I can say. I would definitely say that Sisalwool would still be my preference of choice. Insulation material. Just knowing how bulletproof it really is. I mean, totally submerging it, and the majority of it's pretty much right back down to almost its natural state, just at the bottom section of course, but I think it would sort of dry itself out over time. Whereas the hemp, I don't know how long that would take. We think that was over a long weekend and it's still pretty saturated. So there we go. Make of it what you will. Interesting me experiment.